What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna ramble about Mastodon and Akkoma and the Fediverse activity pub for about like half an hour. Um, so if you're at all interested in seeing them and how they work but haven't used them yet, there's absolutely no videos on YouTube that I've seen that are good that show stuff off. So I'm just gonna do that. I want to start with Mastodon, not because it's better or worse, but simply because it walks hand in hand with ActivityPub. You're gonna hear a lot about Mastodon, Mastodon this, Mastodon that. It's really good. It's really fun. But the first time I brought a service up, my own server, this is gonna be a very single person instance focused. But the first time I brought it up, there was nothing. When you're looking at what I was looking, there's the home and it's empty. And I was like, okay, is it working? Why am I not getting anything? There's no feed. And when people talk, there is no algorithm. No one explains really what that means. This is what it means. There's nothing is gonna be shown to you if you're not actively looking for it. Asterisk. So basically, to be able to use it, you have to go out of your way when you first start to follow people, to try and find people. We're gonna talk about relays and what those are, and to finally be able to get a feed, right? So to just explain really quickly how it's working, what it means. Basically, on the URL over here, if I search, I'm gonna search for my other user, so it's going to be mktest at social.moskoi.com. You're gonna see we have AKK test over here. We're gonna follow him. That is me on my Akkoma. This is Akkoma. It's essentially the same thing. It looks different. It might look better or worse, whatever. But it looks different, right? And I got a notification over here. So someone from Mastodon can interact with people from Pleroma, from Akkoma, from PixelFed, from anything that uses ActivityPub and is a mature enough software to have integration. You can kind of interact and follow each other and comment on each other's stuff. So I'm just gonna follow myself back over here, right? And then I got a notification. Bam. Okay. Akkoma is following. I am following Akkoma from Mastodon. Akkoma is following me from Pleroma, right? I'm going to do a post here. So hello from Mastodon is going to be my post. We have upload pictures. We can do polls if I want to. I can do a content warning, and I can add emojis, right? We can do public quiet, which is basically the same as public. It's as if you were to post a video on YouTube and leave it unlisted, so anyone with the link can still access it, but it's not going to show to anybody. Followers only in private mentions, very self-explanatory. Who can quote you is basically who can reply to your posts. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna post over here. So I sent hello from Mastodon, right? But I'm from Akkoma and following this account. So if I were to go back to Akkoma, we're gonna go to our home screen over here. I'm gonna load. Oh, show new over there. There we go. We have our test over here that I did not mean to show, but whatever. We'll just ignore that. We have mass test over here. Hello from Mastodon. I just posted that 11 seconds ago. So really cool. You can see now how it kind of works. But like I said, it doesn't stop there. I picked a random person from PixelFed. You can see this is kind of like an Instagram of sorts. Really cool art they do. I don't know this person. It was just the first link I found. So I'm going to follow them. I'm going to follow them from... we'll follow them from my Akkoma, right? I'm going to click search over here. I'm going to post their link for their profile. And you can see it shows up over here. Again, it's someone on another server, not mine at all, on another type of platform, but I can still follow them. And this is really fun. So it doesn't retroactively download stuff. If I were to load to refresh my page, it's not going to show their older posts. But from now on, whenever they post something on their Instagram or the PixelFed, Instagram, whatever, it's going to show on my timeline, and that's really cool. I find that very, very cool. There's Zonecast as well, which is kind of like a Twitch, self-hosted Twitch. You can follow people there, so whenever they're live, I get notifications. I've done that. I do that. That's really fun. I like that a lot. So you kind of get it. You get it now. And just to finish explaining this, we're gonna go over to trending. You're gonna see there's nothing here because no one uses this server except me, right? So my home is people I follow. The trending is posts trending on my instance. That's why it's empty. There's nothing here. And if we go to live feed, you're gonna see there's a couple more posts. There's posts from people I don't follow. So this was my main account when I was using Mastodon, and I don't think there's gonna be anything else. Oh, it says live feeds from this server, right? So I'm gonna click other servers, and there we go. I have no idea who this person is or how their stuff came to my server, but if someone, let's say, my auditor account, right? I follow someone, and that someone comments or reposts this person, or maybe there's a relay, because at some point their post interacted with someone I follow. My server kind of downloads their posts and put it here. So same with the cat every hour. I follow a cat every hour account on my main. So it's being that post is being downloaded to my server, and this is basically what it means, right? I'm seeing all posts downloaded to my server. If I were to have friends, I mean I do have friends, but if my friends were to be on my instance, whatever they interacted with would be downloaded to my server and would be shown to me over here. So this is your basically your view to the whole wide web of interactions your server is having. Not necessarily people you follow. I don't follow any of these people. I just created my my account. But this is really neat. This is a way to expand visibility for posts people like. Very cool, very cool. So this is basically how Mastodon works. I'm gonna go over Akkoma, which is very similar, but it has one different thing, a bit of a meme I fell for. So this is basically our timeline. We have our timeline on the upper left over here. We also have on a menu over here on the arrow. So we have home, which is mine and people I follow, if I understand correctly. It might be just mine, I think. Whatever. I have a public timeline, which is all posts within my instance. So this is my main account for my Akkoma. We have a bubble timeline. So this is a bit different. I'm gonna do a small detour to just explain bubble, because this is Akkoma only. Mastodon does not have this, and it was one of the things that made me go for Akkoma. A bubble is basically a sister instance, right? So my bubble here is retrogaiden.com. They are running Mastodon, and I basically set them up as a bubble. A bubble means a timeline of my instance plus the timeline of instances within the bubble. So posts over here are posts that are on my instance, and unfortunately there's none to show here. But if I were following, I can follow someone. Let's go to retrogaiden. Do it real quick. So Oregon person. Okay, this is the admin. He's a cool dude. I'm gonna follow him over here. And we'll check that out later. So basically, because it doesn't retroactively download, it's not gonna pop up or anything. But we'll see by the end of the video if it posts anything. Cool. And the no network is everything. So we also have. I'm also following the cat every hour. on this instance. So you can see there's cats over here. There's a couple of Japanese people because I was trying relays out. I'm gonna talk on that. I'm gonna speak on that. I do not recommend just adding relays willy nilly. But you can see that there's one different timeline over here, and otherwise it's basically the same, right? Very cool. Why would you choose one over the other? Right now, the only reason I see of just recommending one of the over the other is a Mastodon instance running it like just for one person. It's still like 1.8 to 2 gigabytes of RAM it uses. It uses a lot of RAM, way more than it needed to. And Akkoma or Pleroma, it uses like 480 megabytes. So it uses basically a fourth of the RAM. Way less RAM. So because I'm doing a thing, I'm focusing on using the least amount of RAM possible. And I kind of thought bubbles would mean it would be like a fire hose solution. I would get every single post from my sister instances, my bubbled instances. That is not the case. So you gotta depend on relays. I'm gonna explain relays real quick. So they both have this. Okay, I'm gonna go under preferences over here, and we're gonna do administration and then relay. There we go, relay. Oh, cool. Okay, I did add a relay over here. I don't think I have a relay on my. No, okay, I don't have a relay on my Akkoma. What is a relay? We're gonna check this relay out. If you go to relay, it's a website, right? It looks like a website normally, and it's basically, it has rules, and some of them you can subscribe to, and they automatically subscribe back to you, and some of them you subscribe to, but they don't subscribe back to you. What does that mean? That means whenever I make a post, a relay is going to give everybody else on the same relay a copy of my post. So this is basically a way to disseminate your posts online. Maybe people don't follow you, but they are subscribed to a relay that you are also subscribed to. So they will be able to see your posts. And same for everybody else on the relay. Whenever they post something, it's relayed onto you, onto your server. So because I have a relay over here on Mastodon, if I were to go to live feed, there's no, I don't think anyone's posting. So okay, this guy might be being relayed, or not. I don't recall. But my point is, you are now your server is now ingesting other people's posts. So you're kind of like creating your own algorithm of sorts to fill your instance with posts, so you can interact with them, and from there on out, whenever you interact with them, you're throwing your posts to other people's servers. They can read, maybe they can follow you, they can reply to you, they can favorite your post, and so on and so forth. This is okay. If you didn't know, this is basically how ActivityPub, how Akkoma, Pleroma, all the Fediverse stuff works, right? I will now just show you very quickly a bit of the preferences and administration settings, your moderation settings you're gonna see for each one of those. You can see Mastodon is way prettier, organized. It has like a style, a vision of how things would are going to look and feel, and Akkoma is just a list of stuff on a white background. Not even like a dark mode over here. Nope, nothing. Which, this is kind of stuff you're probably going to do just once, but still, on both administration settings, you can simply go on and customize your instance. customize rules, add emojis, see the logs and stuff like that, and add relays, for example. Both of them are very, very much complete. There's really, aside from looks and the amount of RAM they use, there is no upside or downside for either choice. The other upside for Mastodon is if you use Linux IO images, there's like a very nice tutorial on how to get it running. Akkoma is a bit more, their documentation, it's not even documentation, they don't have like official images, or there's like no maintainers for images for Dockers if you use Dockers or containers. So it might be a little bit more of a hassle to bring one up than the other. Akkoma being the one that's a little bit more of a hassle, but they are both, you can do it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing out of this world. So I'm kind of a big fan of both of them when it comes to giving you customization options. You can invite friends over on both of them. You can simply generate a new link, and maybe add the number of users if you want to do like a throw in a group where you don't know many people and just want to give people a little bit of access at a time, see how things go. Maybe give expiration dates. One thing that I can say about inviting people over and just generally logging in and creating your first account for Mastodon is it's really weird when it comes to Gmail. It's really weird when it comes to email. It will require you to have a real email for your first account. I don't know why they do that. I don't like putting my email and stuff. It's like my own server. And you can bypass this, but you gotta use the command line, the CTL for Mastodon, which is, you're gonna have to take a look at the documentation to see how you do that. It's just like a one-time thing. From everybody else, whenever they're creating their account, they will be asked for email. They can input a fake email, but they will not be told they're on the list to be accepted. So the administration, have to get in touch with them just to whenever they finish their account, and then go to moderation accounts. Come over here, and when you're over here, you will be able to enter on their created account over here, and just basically accept their sign up without them really having to do anything with email. This is a temp email I tried using. Whatever. So it's not even a real email. I don't care. But that's my point. Akkoma is very much more like it doesn't really care. It asks for email if you just input asd@asd.com. It just accepts you. Doesn't have anything. Maybe you can disable verification required on Mastodon. I was not able to do so. Or if it does, it's already disabled and it's kind of like janky. Not great. On Akkoma, it just works. It just works. But that is it. I think that is all I wanted to say. Feel free to follow me, I guess. I will be using Akkoma, so this is my real official account. And yeah, all right.